Mayong adlaw ug mayong adlaw sa tanan. Naanapod ko, I am Junri Anthony M. Remolio from the Department of Agronomy and Plant Breeding, College of Agriculture, Central Mindanao University. So I created this video for the purpose of teaching you how to compute for some important statistical values using your calculator. I believe that this will help you in answering one of your laboratory exercises in Agric 44, especially for my students and for those second year students who are currently taking statistics applied to agriculture. So watch this. I am using the Casio FX85 ES Plus model, and I will be teaching you how to generate random numbers using this calculator. So first and foremost, you need to turn on your calculator. So press on. And then you need to clear all the existing programs that are running in this calculator to avoid certain errors that might affect your desired statistical values. In order to clear, then you press Shift and then 9. As you can observe, there is a CLR on top of it, which stands for clear. So click 9 and then click 3 to clear all. And then the equals sign and AC. After resetting the program, then we are now ready to generate random numbers using this calculator. To start, then you press Shift and then the dot button. As you can see, run number and then press equals. And here's our first random number. However, it's in a fractional form or in a fraction. In order to make it into a decimal, then we just press the SD button, which stands for standard to decimal or symbolic to decimal button. And here it goes. We can now generate 0.858. And based on your activity in the exercise, you only need the two last digits of the random numbers. So for 0.858, then you can just use the 58. So that would be our first random number. In order to generate the second random number, then you could just press the equal button. Okay, it's in fraction, so you need to press again the SD. So it's 25. So on and so forth. You just press the equals button and then we could generate our random numbers until we reach the desired number of values, especially in answering your exercise. That's it. At this time, I will be teaching you how to compute some important statistical values using the calculator. So again, we need to do the same process. We need to reset all those existing programs that are running in the calculator. So we press Shift and then we press 9 and then 3 and equals button and then AC. And in order to set the mode into statistics, then we press mode. Then click or press 2 for stat. And then we press 1 because in statistics we only need a one variable. So 1. So here it goes. We are now ready to input our values or set of data. So for example, I am putting the set of the grades in your different subjects last semester. So I will be using the values in percentile form or percentile grade. So, in assumption that your grades are the following: 95. So, in order to input the values, then we press the desired values and then we click equal sign. And then 75 equals, and then 98, 65. Oops, that's a very low grade. And then 70, and then 96, assuming that you all have, or you have 10 subjects, and then it's worse. 78, and then 82, 85, and the last one is 85. Okay, so we have inputted 10 grades or 10 values. So technically the value of n is 10. So after which then we press AC. At this time we need to compute, or we are to compute, some important statistical values. So we just press shift and then 1, because as you can see there is a stat, and then we can have 5 choices, no? Whichever you want to discover or whichever you want to manipulate using your calculator. So if you want to see again your data, then you just click button number 2. So these are your 10 grades last semester, assuming these are your grades. Okay, so that's it. You press AC, and then we can now compute for those important values. So in order to compute, then we click shift number 1 for stat, and then we go to number 3, the summation. So in order to get the value of your summation of x squared, so we just press 1 and then press equals. So that is the value of our summation x squared. Okay? So in a manual computation, in order to obtain this value, is you need to get the squared value of your 10 values. You get the squared value of your 10 values, and then you sum it all. And this would be the result. And let's go back to those important values that we need to compute. We click shift, then 1 for stat, then 3. And let's go to summation of x. So this is your value for your summation of x. It means that this is the value when you get the total of your if all your grades that were inputted in this calculator. That's it. Okay, at this time, let us compute using this calculator some measures of variability that are available. So let's go to shift and then 1, and we go to number 4, or the variance or variation or variability. And then let's compute for the value of n. Let's press 1. So your value of n is 10. And then let's go back, number 4, and then let's compute for the value of your sample mean. So we press 2. The value of our sample mean, or the x bar, is 82.9. So technically, in assumption that those are your grades, then your average is 82.9. Okay, and then let's go back again. Number 4, let's compute for the standard deviation in a population. So let's press 3. So this is your value for the standard deviation in a population. And let's compute for the sample standard deviation. So let's go back to the shift, then number 1, number 4, and let me press 4. And here it goes. So this is our value for the standard deviation in a sample. So that's it. Easy. I hope you've learned a lot from this video, especially on computing some important statistical values, just like some topics that are belong to summation notation, and then for the measures of variability. However, I want to remind you that these are just some sort of a guide for you to check if all your answers are correct. So you might switching about using your calculator in order to check whether your answers are correct. But I want to remind you that in your actual exam, you are required to show your solutions. And failure to show such, then it will nullify your answers. And it is a deduction from your final scores. So, if you have questions or clarifications, then you can reach me up through my contact information reflected in your screen. And as such, for my Agric 44 students, then you coordinate with your section leaders because they will just be the one to contact me whatever concerns you have. So thank you very much for listening and have a great day.